I'm going to bring in my Gladiolus bulbs. It's the beginning of November, so it's about time we bring them in. This area of Canada, it gets too cold to keep them outside, so they'll die if they freeze. So what I'm going to do is just go on out and grab them, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here I am outside. It's a little chilly. Weather report said it was going to be 4 degrees, but it's 0. Yeah, so it's a little cold. But I've left these Gladiolus out here a little too long. They didn't get supported over the summer either because I was away on vacation, and they grew really fast while I was gone and ended up growing on an angle like this. But they're really nice. So what I'm going to do is pull them up and try and save them for next year. I'm using my garden fork here. I'm just digging them up. Okay, so I've got my Gladiolus bulbs now. They look like this. Actually, you'll notice these tiny little bulbs growing off the bottoms. You can keep them if you like. They're really not big enough to really plant outside. Maybe if we had a longer growing season, they get big enough that we can use them next year. You could always keep them anyways and just try and plant them. But this is what they look like. What you want to do is just try to clear off as much of the dirt as you can. And then you cut off the stems at the tops. Now what you want to do is keep these in a cool place inside your house. So, you know, in a garage that doesn't get too cold in the winter time, or your shed, someplace that won't freeze but isn't too warm and it isn't too moist, because if they get warm and moist they'll start growing again on the inside, and you don't want them to start growing until next spring. So I'm just going to go through this bucket and clear them all up, chop all the tops off. Okay, so now that I've cleaned all the dirt off of these things, and I've cut all the tops off, they're ready to go into storage. And now what I'm going to try and use is an old bag that I had left over from some bulbs that I planted earlier this year. It's a mesh bag, and that'll let the air flow through, and it'll let them dry up a little bit. Hopefully it's big enough. But you can use a paper bag, or if you make yourself a cloth bag or something like that, that'll work as well. Just not plastic. Plastic will hold the moisture in. Doesn't look like this is going to be big enough, but... Okay, so now that my bag is full, I'm just going to get a piece of string, tie that up at the top, and I'm going to hang it somewhere nice and cool for the winter time. And then we'll plant them out in the garden again in the spring. And that's all you need to do.